Yes.
Forgot I brought
Really?
it.
It'll be Sunday.
No, you're good.
After you evening.
And it's so inconspicuous, so she doesn't even know I'm doing it.
I'm Joe.
Michael, Reggie's brother.
Oh, I've met you before. It's been a long time. At their wedding, I think it was, or sometime around there.
I was told.
You live in California,
Yeah.
right? I know I've met you.
Yeah.
You're Navy.
I was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I did almost 6 years. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm semi-retired right now.
Semi.
Yeah.
Why semi?
Because I may have to go back to work.
Oh, well, I'm semi-retired every weekend.
Oh.
I'm Amanda.
Okay, hi,
I'm
Miss.
fiance.
Nice to meet you. So I take it you weren't at the wedding.
I was not at the wedding.
Oh, you were not. Okay.
I will be
And
at
I
the
could have
next wedding.
swore it
Yeah.
was 2006, but that thing says 05,
Yeah.
so.
That was a while ago.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It was like 2006. I just know it was.
No, so I got out of the Navy in 06.
Oh, you were
and
in the
I met
Navy?
you a little bit before that.
You were in the Navy.
Huh?
What was your rate?
I'm Angela's son.
What was your rate?
AE.
Hey, oh, okay, yeah, okay, now I
See,
remember. Okay,
yeah.
all right, okay, all right. You were a fellow black sheep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what did you get out as?
E3.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making my one
Okay.
last thing.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't.
Well, the rate, it was locked up. It got locked up like a year after I got in, and it was impossible to make rank.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. The rate I was in, they were phasing it out,
Yeah.
and so that's why I made second class. But I passed the first class test.
Yeah.
But there was all these guys that had been a career,
Yeah.
and so they were only going to rate, a certain amount. And I think they were only going to rate 2%.
Yeah.
So
Mine was under 5%, I know that.
right.
It was low.
Right. Yeah, you had to either had been at sea for a long time and all that. That was the other reason why I got out. Is
Yeah.
because in order to make first class, I'd have had to do AT, AQ, AX or something like that,
Yeah.
or AE, and then I'd have to go to C.
Yeah.
I'd have to have 3 years of C before I could even be advanced.
Yeah.
And wait a minute, let me rephrase that. I'd have to take the test, then try to go against all these guys that had been in the rate,
Yeah.
So it was just get out.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't for me, and that's why I got out.
Yeah.
But
Thank you for making this.
So what you doing these days?
I just got a job at the airport working on the train system out there.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty cool so far.
What, maintenance?
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
The same type of environment as what the Navy
Right, yeah.
was, just no Navy.
Yeah, no name. Well, so, most companies, they kind of do have stripes. It's just you don't wear the uniform.
And it's crazy because I'd say more than 50% of the people there are ex-military.
Right, yeah.
And that's a lot of people for
Yeah,
me.
well, it usually happens because, the Navy trains their people well.
Yeah.
Really, the Air Force does too, the Marine
Yeah.
Corps does, and the Army does. But the reality is the Navy usually trains a lot more because the Navy is actually kind of bigger.
Yeah.
Because it's got troops all over.
Yeah, it's way bigger,
I
actually.
think it actually, as far as troop wise, the Army is only as big. It's big only because it needs the ground pounders.
Yep.
And of course the Marine Corps is smaller because it's it's kind of a specialized.
Yep.
So, but the Navy has like CBs and
Yeah, they cover everything.
Yeah, they cover everything.
Yep. Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons back in the day that the Air Force kind of got mad at the Navy because it's like, wait a minute, you're doing stuff we're doing.
On there, doing a hell of a lot more.
Right.
Oh yeah. But it's cool. Are you still? Last time when I first met you, you were with Grumman.
No, Raytheon.
Oh,
I
Raytheon?
retired from it.
Oh, I could have sworn you were
I
Northrop.
retired from Raytheon.
That's cool.
Yes.
So you were Raytheon. If I remember, they were like Orange County, like Southern LA.
No, they're in. Well, they're all over. They're out here.
Yeah.
They have an intelligence office out here. Out in, I don't actually know where it is. It's in Aurora somewhere. That's all I know.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's mostly black stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Nobody
wouldn't
knows.
what it is anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
even the people
and the black clearances are really hard to get. You know, because
I'm sure
they're really tough. I mean, it's easy to get a DoD clearance.
Yeah.
But the black clearances, it's mostly CIA or NSA stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so even to get the clearance, even when you get the clearance, they tell you, well, you can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
You know, or you have to have some cover story of what you're actually working on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's why they call it black.
Yeah. And it's the thing this country does, you know, that they don't want people to know. You know, it's just like when the U2 got shot down back in the day. You know, it's like they tried to tell you know, everybody. Well, you know, it was just a weather plane and all this other. They were spying on Russia.
Yeah.
Period.
You're not doing anything.
Was that Gary Powers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, our country does too much of that.
Well, there's a you could say. I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but I'm saying they do it for the good of the country.
Yeah.
And like I said, I can't say whether it's good or bad, but they do it for the good of the country. Whether your good is
the same as
their good, right? You know, I mean,
but, yeah.
Okay, Adrian, what's that, son?
I don't know.
Okay.
Hey, little baby.
Hi, cute.
Hey, what's your name? What?
She said Reggie.
Reggie? Oh,
Reggie.
she's looking for Reggie.
She loves your brother.
Oh.
Oh, no, I have baking powder.
Hey, come here. Hey, come here.
Oh, right in my face.
Bacon.
Is 2 teaspoons of baking powder, right, Adrian?
Yes.
And then what's after that?
I'm waiting for Joe. We're waiting on Joe. 1 teaspoon of salt. Oh, he didn't already? Oh, I put it on I stopped by there last night. No, I stopped by there Tuesday. I stopped today, but I stopped by, I think it was Thursday night. And, when you look in the bedroom, it's so dark in there that you can't see. Oh, I just figured he would have come out when somebody opened the door. It was Wednesday. I just didn't think if it was Thursday, we did you say excuse me? Because we were not right now. What do you think of us? Thanks for asking.
You work for the city of Denver?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's a long time.
Now I know. Reggie,
Nothing wrong with that.
I need your help.
I work for the company that I work for.
You know I've been drinking a beer.
But I had
Yeah.
to,
Please don't fall.
I took the pension and ran.
That's all right.
Yeah, I had to.
31.
31. Yeah. I turned 55 and I was eligible for the pension. Why should I stay? They probably would have fired me if I had stayed. No. No, I wanted to leave on my terms. Yeah, you know, and it got getting bad. You know, part of the problem is I was working in DOD. Part of the problem is that it goes in cycles with whoever's in the presidency. You know, Republicans in office, DOD blows up. Democrats get in office, DOD budget goes down. What company do you work for? What do they do? They do what? They pay. Oh yeah, DFAS. Okay. Yeah, because I was in the Navy. Okay, that's DFAS. That's
DFAS Cleveland.
Right, okay. That's where the checks came from.
You have to know where the money is.
Yeah, that's what they... And so, that was a civilian organization? I mean, it was a civilian organization, though, right? Civilians didn't run it?
No.
Oh, wow. So you were... What branch were you in?
Originally, I was here in Denver. Denver City. And it started off as AFNC.
Right, I remember that. Right.
Then it converted in 91.
Well, I was Benetton out. Because I was in from 77 to 83.
First class. Close water.
Almost at 6. Because I went to this school. In order to go to the school, I had to give them 18 more months. It was a sucker punch. Well, I mean, literally, I mean, I wanted the school, and it was the reason why I got the job when I got out. Because I went to the school that Hughes put on, which was on the base, and then they saw how I was, and they came down there for problems, and the one dude said, "Who is this guy? We need to hire him." And then there was some political BS behind it, because they said, "Wait a minute, he's getting out, and you guys are hiring him?" And one of the GS-13 said, "Wait a minute now, you gotta wait." And they made me wait for 3 months.
Really?
Yes. 3 months before they hired me. Got out, well, actually it was a little less than 3 months. But I got out February 18th, and they hired me the day after my birthday on April 4th.
Okay.
Because they wanted me to start on the 3rd, and I said, "Wait a minute, I got something to do on the 3rd.
Something important.
I got something real important that happened." They said, "Okay, we'll come on the 4th." And I said, "Okay, that's cool."
Like a pre-plan.
Yeah. And I was going to get out. I was going to leave on the 4th of April. But I said, you know what? Well, one of the reasons why is I couldn't leave on the 4th. It had to be at least 2 days after my 55th birthday. So I left on the 7th.
But technically, you'd already checked out.
Oh, technically, I was on vacation.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You're just hanging
Technically,
out.
I was gone. I had, by the beginning of this year, I was kind of gone. Because there were some other issues I had. With HR, I was going back and forth, and they were saying this and that. I said, I'm going. But there was one little particular incident that just pushed me over the edge. I was working on this one program, and me and this one guy was cracking some jokes, basically, in my office, and we were talking about the design of this piece of equipment we're working on. Anyway, so the manager comes over here and says, "You guys, you're laughing too loud." And I said, "Really?" As soon as he left, I wrote my little memo to say, "I'm leaving." And I gave him the date, because, it was like, really, that's the way they're going to treat somebody that's had the much experience and the much time I've been in that company, and that's how they're going to treat me. Why would I want to stay?
I would have been fired a long time ago. I'm loud by nature.
Well, I am. I'm loud by nature. It's a part of my body. I mean, I can't help it. My voice carries. The neighbors down three houses can hear me talking, And I can't help that. But he knew that. The person knew that, and he thought that I would say something. Yeah, I know. Angela isn't. Have they met Angela?
Anybody want to play a game of
You have a crush
chase?
on him. Yeah, I had a crush on him. He used to tell me, "Dude,
Oh, that's
you got a shot."
Yeah, she has been able to pull some well-to-do dudes,
Yeah, you a government worker, just forget it.
Yeah,
just your little pipe.
pass you by, you better find somebody else.
Maybe we get a sign.
But no, it's serious. It's the truth, though. You think about the guys she's been with. Right?
Marshall was like,
Yeah, she really blew up on Marshall. And then this guy she's with, Frank, he's a doctor, so. Yeah. You went to get a government salary now. You better do the work.
no GS in that. That ain't nothing.
Oh, Jack, you like this pretty good pay, GS 11.
don't have it. Hey, son got 2 jobs, so he's out of my pocket. I'm like, woohoo, life is good. Welcome to the beach.
Yeah, well, I'm still going through that. So. Yeah, so whatever, though. It is what it is, though. You know? It is what it is.
I tell people once they sex alteration. Oh, man. You really got it. Come on. It's like, I just show up in HR.
No,
same thing.
No, it freaked me out because here I had one on.
Where's Tony?
I had one on a vacation or whatever and came back and I was looking for Tony.
Antoinette.
No. I don't remember what he changed his name to. I think it was Vicky or something like that. And it was like, and then they told me to go talk to my supervisor. And my supervisor said, oh, we forgot about that. Folks, they sent me to the HR person. The HR person sent me to the psychiatrist. And I had to go on company time, go sit and talk to the psychiatrist about the situation. About this guy having a sex change. I worked with them, Eric. And so the person, anybody that worked with them had to they had to spend time with the counselor because the fact was that I might say something to him.
I would say something. I would.
And it could possibly get fired from it. So that the company was basically protecting themselves. You know, the lawyers run most companies.
Do anymore.
They really do. Lawyers run most companies now. They really do.
Oh, I know I would have said. I would have said something. And I would have needed counsel. I know.
Oh yeah, they made me go like 3 or 4 times because I had slipped and said something. And they said, oh, you need to go back and see that counselor, because I mean it was like, well, why would a man want to get his jewels cut off? Really? I do not see that. I don't see why a man would want to be a woman. I really don't.
Because I know women who say, man, you guys got it.
Yeah, we got it good. We don't go through the cycle and all that other stuff, We ain't got to worry about getting pregnant.
I worked with the guy who was involved in that homosexual lifestyle. He came up to me one day and said, oh, I guess you don't like me. I'm like, why don't I like you? Like, if you're a Christian. I said, you know what? If you're asking me, if you're point blank asking me what the Bible says against homosexuality, it says it's a sin that binds us to God. Right. I said, let's be clear here. I got enough of my own sins to be worried about. Worry about mine, and you worry about yours. That's right.
Amen, brother.
That's right. It's like, if you want me to say it's okay, I won't, but I got some stuff I'm dealing with I need to get right. Got my own demons. I still don't need to add yours to the pile. Yeah, well, and he and I got along just fine. It's like every time he tried to say, I sit around, I'm like, I'm not going to agree to answer that way. Yeah, that's when they started a marriage stuff. I was like, I'm never going to.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Colorado.
Colorado it's not.
I don't think it because
you're right.
It's not legal. The only state I think is like
there's only 11
New
states.
Jersey or
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
California.
No.
Oh yeah.
No, because they're fighting.
Yeah.
They're fighting it.
I know it's 11 states have it. Right.
Yeah, they call it. Well, in California, it's the same thing, domestic partners. Because it's you can't because they even have that in the court system, family court. It's like really.
Just like when that one dude got drafted.
Oh man, I saw that. I could not take that. I kept doing that. Really?
Well, the weird thing is, with stuff like that, I don't need to know what your sexuality is in general. It's like, I don't need to know your heterosexual.
Okay, the problem with that is, the problem I have is showing kids.
Right.
That's the problem I have. I mean, they want to do that stuff in front of adults. That's fine, but don't show that on like national TV where some little kid can see that. So I mean, because it's like they're gonna question their parents. Well, Mama, you know how kids are. Mama, Daddy, you know why is that man kissing that man? You know what? Really, how would you deal with that if your child came up here and said, you know, Daddy or Mama, why is that man or why is that woman kissing? Now the woman kissing, that's a different story.
Wait. Morally, I agree. But from a guy's perspective, it doesn't bother me.
Not only that, it's more socially acceptable.
No, I agree. Morally, in God's eyes, it's the same. But guys, I don't know why it doesn't bother me.
That part don't bother me.
Yeah, that's not as bad.
And it should bother us.
Yeah,
But it
but it
doesn't.
don't bother me. You know, it's would have been Adam and Adam.
I know. I totally agree. The Bible
Or
says
even Eve, one of the two.
the Bible is very clear about it, but there's something about guys. It doesn't seem to bother us as much. It's that sin nature in us. It's like, matter of fact, we're like,
That's the truth.
I know.
I'm sorry. I've been here almost 3 days. Can't break it.
That's my thing. If they hear so much like, I think you just want a guy. We went out for New Year's Eve, Angela and I and her cousin. And there's this girl, I didn't even know she was a girl, and she's like, Zeus. Dance better than most of the men on the floor. And then said, that's a guy. I mean, that's a girl. I'm like, that's not a guy. That's a girl. Look how he moves. That guy moves well. And finally, it's like, I saw the lumps. I was like, oh my goodness, it's a girl.
They're called butches.
Oh, yeah. She outbid most of the men there.
One of my neighbors, they that way. One female, she looks like she's not a man, but you know, she dresses like a man. It's like
Okay, all right. That'd be great. All right, bye. Bye.
Because I think about like the guys, the guys who want a feminine guy. I'm like, I think you just want a girl.
Thank you.
That's simple.
Thank you.
yeah, pizza and stuff.
Yeah, we can go in and
I ain't ready. Y'all go on and eat.
I'm gonna go grab something to drink. I'm gonna be back out.
Corona.
I have
Well,
one
that's a
beer. Everybody
stimulating
knows.
conversation.
Well, yeah.
Is that gonna be the only one?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
right now.
I'm at home. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. How old are you? Huh? You're 6?
You can't say it.
6.
Oh, I know you can talk.
6. Oh, you're
You're
7.
7? When's your birthday?
April 19th.
I'm in the middle of a stink. Literally. Literally. I gotta go back to the house.
They're gonna bring food out. across from the golf course. No, it's right there. You know where the Super golf course is? It's right across the street. That's 3701.
Oh, because it's on 26th Street. So it's not actually.
Well, it's not on 26th. It's on 37. 26 right here. And I know the church you're talking about. You're talking about.
Is this going to be the food table?
I'm assuming.
Yeah, but no, the one I'm talking about is down this way.
Let's make it then.
Across the street from not
Oh,
from
that
that golf club, country club, whatever.
when I grew up here, I don't remember no golf club, of course.
Yeah.
That used to be the Mint and something else.
Okay, not quite down far.
I don't know how you were setting it up,
That's
but
where the Mint used to be, right?
No.
Let's try to do it in order.
yeah.
It was up further?
Because this is right down on Colorado Boulevard.
Okay, is it on this side of Carl Boulevard?
If we're going this way, it's on that side.
Hi, Ari.
Oh.
Yeah. My
Is it a
family
new building?
Well, we've been there like 10 years. But it still looks new. It's huge. It's big.
Because, I mean, I come here like maybe once a year.
Did you know any of the Morels? Archie Morel, Joe Morel, Walter Chuck,
Morel, nah. My buddy might know him because he still lives here.
Well, most of them have departed now, but that was an old family. My grandfather had Morel and Sons sign shop down on the farm.
So how'd you meet Rich?
I didn't. I met Angela.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
How'd you
I
meet
met
her?
Angela. She drove the AS, so I was her number one bus passenger.
Oh, you was one of her passengers.
Yeah, I was one of her passengers. She's such a nice person, and she had 2 runs, and we used to talk, every day
Got
and
to know
stuff,
her, right?
and exchange numbers and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's 'cause
Were you at their wedding?
No.
Or you
no.
met her
I
after that?
I met her after that.
Oh,
We're fairly new acquaintances.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she's so nice, And we talked all the time. I talked to her about my great grandkids and my grandson and all that, because my grandson gave me a car for Mother's Day.
Really?
And yeah,
A vehicle?
a car, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
So you're off the bus now.
I still ride because it's more economical because I go to the airport. Airport Legal Services is located at DIA.
Why you gotta go way out to DIA?
Because we are the attorneys for the airport.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
right.
Airport Legal Services. So we handle all of the
Legal problems of
yeah,
the
because they have concession, air agreements, contracts, personal injury, all kinds. It's a whole little city out there.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Plus the redevelopment of Staples.
What happened? I told him to bring it. Well, why don't you tell Sherry to come in here? I can't say nothing about that. Yeah, well, ain't nothing I can say about that one, Sean. You should have never wore them.
It's raining. Thank you. I need it. I know.
You don't like me. You don't like that voice, probably. Hey, baby.
She's cute. I'm glad it stopped raining, though. I have never seen it hail before like this. It doesn't do that in California.
Yeah. It really wasn't much. My great grandson.
They said you guys had some not small, the size of golf balls.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my God! It's breaking people's windows.
Yeah, break your windshields out
And
everything.
tornadoes. He said they didn't sound off the sound.
But you know, we
tornadoes.
never used to have tornadoes here until they started cutting the holes through the mountains. They made the Eisenhower Tunnel, then they made the Moffett Tunnel.
The Eisenhower Tunnel was made in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the first time they cut holes in the mountains. that's not the only tunnel now.
Right.
They have
There's
increased
5
them.
of them.
Yeah, and that, every action causes a reaction. So they jump right over now. We get terrible. Not as bad as some flat places, but we still get them.
Yeah, well, DIA is out here and open. They never. I don't remember ever having no tornadoes but I left here when I was 18, and I have.
Yeah, no, we didn't. We didn't have tornadoes back then.
Oh.
What time is it? Tomorrow.
5:53. Ready to go with you?
The whole story. I assume I'm supposed to grab these. Huh?
Why this up?
What?
Grass.
I grew a little more topsoil and it looks good, man. Like I said,
Now you don't want to cut it?
well, I was going to cut it in.
So what part of California?
Los Angeles.
I have an older brother that's
Pretty well.
Really well, dude. You ever been out there?
once. I took my mom before she passed away last year. But we had heard from my brother in
See
like
that one
15
section in front
years
yard
and we
that
found out where
refuses
he
to
was.
grow
I
anything.
took her out there to visit him. That was the only time I didn't go out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You like
But
it?
the other side of
I
the
was
front
afraid
yard,
of
it
the
looks
ocean.
great.
You know, my brother took us out
To the beach?
to stand on the beach, and I was like,
You were scared.
I was scared because I'm like,
Why?
whoa, what's holding that in there like that? And you're standing, I know it's God, but you're standing on the ground and you feel like,
Spring,
I felt like I was moving.
Yeah, if you standing in the sand and the water hit you, it does feel like you're moving.
Oh, and I was like,
How
oh.
come you just didn't step back from the tide?
Well, because my brother kept saying, you need to experience this. I said, okay. But it was cool, but it was, I wasn't just terrified, but I was like,
You were at
uncomfortable.
You were at awe.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a better word.
But, but from the physical side, it's actually the moon that holds the tide.
Real.
Yeah.
Well,
The moon
it was
is what-
beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but it was like, I was like, whoa. You know, I don't think I could live there. Because I would just be afraid of just...
Well, you would have to be very well-to-do to live on the beach.
Yeah.
You would
Well,
have to,
There's people that live on the beach.
well,
yeah, I know.
but you'd have to have some big money.
It's expensive.
Well,
It's a pretty scenery, but it's expensive.
there's Lee Marable. He was chief counsel of Airport Legal, and when he retired, he bought a place on the beach. He paid,
Probably paid cash.
$1 million. Yeah, he did.
Probably paid cash.
And he just go out on his balcony, and it's like right there.
Yeah. You have to have a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what. But it was nice. You know. It was always.
The place is probably smaller than ours.
Yeah, that's why.
Otter.
And my brother said, he got frostbitten when he was here. He used to drink. He passed out and got frostbitten. And he doesn't want to live here. He would rather live out there because the weather.
Yeah, I had told him that bring my son when he got back.
I mean, it has its moments.
My ex-husband, his girlfriend.
It was beautiful to visit. And you know that drive, when you drive along the highway, I forgot there's a name.
PCA.
Yeah. Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was real pretty. That was real pretty.
I've been out here several times. With Franco. I like it out here.
I don't really like it out there. I just stuck out there, had a job, and
Yeah, you have.
You like it?
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And I'm sort of just still kind of stuck.
Is it a cruise or is it
I mean, I could leave, but my kids are there.
Yeah, you're home. You gotta.
Are you out here for this time?
That's how we did the one time when we did it
You'll
breakfast.
stay here for a year?
We were around my mom for a while until I get tired of the place. Say goodbye.
So you're going to move where you're going to move back to? You like it?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Really? California. California has the best weather.
I've been places where
How's the weather?
I always like California.
You like heat? That's
Guam should be like California, shouldn't it? Pretty much.
yeah, it's hot though.
Gets hot there.
Closer to the equator.
Hot and humid.
You like that?
Starting early.
Not so much humid.
So you kind of going back. You out here for good.
Yeah, they come.
Out of here.
Oh, there's another Trayvon Martin over there.
It's good that you are out here now.
Yeah, you haven't seen Mom in over 10 years. You saw her in 01. Yeah. Because she had flown in the, she tells me the story all the time, where she had flown into, Cincinnati, and back then, because that was right before the 9/11 stuff, so you was able to meet her at the gate, and you bought her a hamburger. So she tells me that all the time. Well, before you had came back, she used to say that all the time. Now she has no reason to tell the story. Well, speaking of that, I'm going to go get her.
I got a boy going through June.
Did she say, get ready?
Well, she forgot. Well, you know, Mom, her memory is not that good anymore. It's getting a lot worse.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's what I was there.
It's getting to the point
Weather,
where
who ordered this? You guys brought this from Arizona.
No,
Where did it come from? L.A.
Arizona.
It never rains in Southern California. Why you bring that? Why you bring that?
so you bring the Elk Crow?
How you doing?
Man, what's happening, Eric?
I know you.
You done forgot him.
Man.
That's Pete.
Hey,
You don't remember
take
Pete?
your hat off, man.
Just like your head.
Take your glasses off. You don't remember you with the glasses. Pete, you don't remember Yeah. As much time as we used to bug you.
This dude used to beat me in 2 moves in the chest.
It wasn't 2 moves, but
2.
You can't beat nobody
You
in 2
too.
moves.
He beat you too in 2
You can't
moves.
beat nobody in 2 moves in chess. Maybe in 6.
I remember that.
2
You
moves.
beat us in 2 moves when we were in high school.
You can't beat nobody in 2 moves in chess.
Maybe we weren't in high school. Maybe it was junior high.
You can't beat nobody in 3
Yeah, you
moves.
can. Well, it was close enough.
Like
Saw
6,
that
maybe.
hill earlier.
It was like 2, though.
Ah,
It's like, bam, 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 get out of here.
2 moves, Pete. Come on, that's all exaggeration.
Nice meeting you.
It's like about 6.
Who are you?
You know who I
Old
am.
Navy Athletics?
Yeah.
Navy Athletics.
This is my son, Matthew.
How you doing, young man? Big guy, huh?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Okay. How old are you, young man? 13. Wow. That's when I knew you were your dad.
Yeah, we were 13. Yeah.
Wow.
That's when I met him, when I was 13. We've known each other ever since.
I'll still be happy. I might not be happy about my
40 some odd years.
That's Matthew. And that's Michael.
You know me? Oh,
Hi.
doesn't know.
Yes, I do. I'm Diane's oldest daughter.
This is Donna.
His sister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I see the resemblance.
Oh, you see? See, there you go.
Oh, you're the one going to school here.
Yes.
Oh, so you got your degree, and so where you going?
I went to the University of Denver.
No. What you gonna do now?
Oh, now I'm taking a year off and getting my doctorate.
Oh, okay. So you gonna stay here and get your doctorate?
Man, everybody was going to the car show,
Hopefully you two
and
also.
it rained. And this is one of the big ones, man. This
here.
Savannah Street. From 6th Avenue
to the
Parker.
weather and the people.
Hot rods, man.
Pick it up here. I hear you.
And even after the rain, we just went down there, and there was a few
What you gonna do?
old Mercury.
Counseling psychology.
Oh,
Yeah, stuff.
that's good. Speaking of that, let me go get mine.
This is what I do, man.